Welcome to iamGEEK, the show for the geek in all of us. I'm Ryan Street, and I'm here again with my brother Chris Street and our good friend Chris Catron. And this is our special Star Wars Celebration episode. We are back. We are tired, but we are ready to talk about it. How you guys doing tonight?
Woo! Still tired.
Well, my brother Chris and I got to go to Star Wars Celebrations, but Catron, you did not get to go. Are you disappointed?
I'm very disappointed. I've heard the stories and seen the pictures, and I just cried every night. Why? Me.
You can't see him, but he's dressed all in black for mourning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Black bands.
I'm sitting in the dark. Yeah, sitting in the
so
dark,
sad.
and yeah. So.
His mascara's running from all the crying.
Yep.
Terrible.
You're giving away all of his secrets. But the good thing is you have 2 years to plan for the next one. So you could go to the next one in
Yes.
2019.
2019, that would be 2 years, yes.
Yeah. Don't know where it's
Wherever.
at. Yeah, wherever it's going to be. That is the same year that Star Wars Land opens at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. So if I was a betting man, it's going to be at one of the two places. It's going to be by one of the parks.
Tijuana or Guatemala.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we had a great trip. It was fun. It was long. Our days started roughly around 5:30.
When I could get you up.
Yeah. And ended like it's 1 a.m. or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was long days, and you're sort of trapped in this place all day long. But we had a blast. So let's just jump right in. Last Wednesday was our travel day. So you traveled from Dallas, and I traveled from Houston.
Yes, I did.
And it was pretty funny that on both of our planes, basically, it was Star Wars fans.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure half the flight were going to Star Wars Celebration. Like there was a guy from the 501st Legion, all the guys that dress up, do all the costumes with the stormtroopers and all the Empire people. And then there was even a guy that was going to like help run the celebration stage, like the main stage. It's like a just full on beard older guy, and I think he just traveled to every con and just did this for everything. It's pretty funny.
That's funny. Yeah, on my flight, I sat down next to a guy. And he had a Star Wars shirt on, so I'm like, I bet you're going to Star Wars Celebrations. He's like, yeah. And me trying to make conversation, I was like, yeah, this is my second one. He's like, oh, it's my first one. I'm like, oh, that's cool, yeah. I think I'm going to dress up this time for a day and be Kylo Ren. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm dressing up too. He pulls out this bag from underneath his seat. This like nice bag, unzips it, and he has a full-on Stormtrooper helmet in there. And I'm like, yeah, you got me beat. But he had the full costume.
The guy I sat next to on the plane, again, a Star Wars shirt. So again, yeah, I better know where you're going. And he's like one of the main people in Texas or something that builds lightsabers and sells them. And he pulled out his phone and started showing me pictures of really nice lightsabers. And he had this like full on body armor, like Jedi Knight suit or something he was going to put on and walk around on Saturday. And I was like, yeah, nerd. I'm just going, nerd.
No. I dressed up. It was fun. So we got there Wednesday. We had a free place to stay, which was great.
Yes.
And it was one of our relatives that works for Disney. She let us stay at her place. And then she took us around. It was cool. She said, you guys want to do something? I'm like, sure, why not? Because we had Wednesday night free. And she goes, you want to go to the store where all the cast go and where we sell everything for cheap? And we're like, sure, why not? So she took us to this behind-the-scenes store, and we got to see all this stuff marked way, way, way down. I was able to get they have this cool TIE Fighter popcorn bucket that's it's huge, and you can wear it around your neck, but it's huge. And in the parks, who knows how much it is, but they had it there for $6. So I was like, I'll take a TIE Fighter popcorn bucket. That'll be fun. So I brought that home to my son, and he's been playing around with it. So it's been pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a cool store. only half of it was open. The other half like had actual stuff from like hotels, like tables and pillows and stuff that they've taken out of the resorts, and you could buy them there, which was sort of.
I don't think Patron wants those.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I want to buy you from a hotel room. But, I'll put the poo bottles and the soap, the things that are shaped like Mickey that, it's hopefully new and all that. But no, not old pillows or anything like that.
They had like curtains and there was actually a bunch of TVs that were attached to like these big like desks and stuff.
Yeah.
And some,
well.
Yeah.
We couldn't fit those on the plane anyways.
No.
But that night we also got to get my favorite Disney treat, which was Dole Whip, which if you don't know what Dole Whip is, it's like pineapple soft serve, and it's amazing. It's like heaven.
And it's dairy. It's dairy free too, so that means I can eat it.
Nice.
Because I can't eat a lot of dairy, and oh my goodness, it was delicious. I'm drooling right now.
We said we were going to go back every night, but we didn't. We didn't.
Yeah, we did not.
Yeah.
That's my one regret.
But that was sort of our Wednesday, which leads us into Thursday, which we encountered Thursday morning. What time did we get there? Probably.
Oh gosh, it's between like
6.
No, it was probably closer to 7.
Closer to 7. Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't sure because the doors opened at 10. It was the first day, and we weren't really sure. Like, I'd been to San Diego Comic-Con before, and I knew you got to get there like super early if you want to get in. Didn't really know how this one was going to go. But yes, it was super packed, though.
Yeah, so we got there, and we're thinking, okay, we'll get in line. And so we see the line, so we start to walk towards what we think is the end of the line. But the line wraps around not only the building, really, the outside of the building, but it wrapped around the street. So you're basically going down the street, and you ended up on the other side of the convention center, which is huge in Orlando. So the line, when we got there, was pretty long, but then I heard it doubled back and was even longer.
Yeah.
So it was a long line just to get into the building. But we already had our tickets, so that was good. But once you got into the building, you had to go through metal detectors and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Some people apparently later in the day, like after we'd gotten there, like waited like 5 hours to get in or something like that.
Oof.
That's just insane.
Yeah, glad we got there early. So they, so that was a big mess, and they sent out an email later, the people in charge of it, saying we messed up and we'll make tomorrow better. But Thursday they kicked the whole thing off with the 40th anniversary panel. Which basically celebrated 40 years of Star Wars. And the first guest to come out, besides Kathleen Kennedy, which she was sort of the first one out, but the second guest to come out after that was the man himself, George Lucas. And I was a little surprised that he was there, but he was there, and he seemed to be happy to be there. And he talked for a little while. And then, of course, they brought out a bunch of other people. They brought up Billy D. Williams. He was
so smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth like molasses.
Peter Mayhew came out. That's Chewbacca. Who else was there? Anthony Daniels.
C-3PO, yeah.
Anthony Daniels. And then Mark Hamill came out, which was great. And then the big surprise, Harrison Ford showed up, which is the first time he's ever come to anything like this. And we were all very surprised that he was there. They made jokes on stage about how he landed his airplane on I-4, which is the interstate there in Orlando. But it was
and Warwick Davis was there.
Warwick Davis was there. He was one of the hosts for the week. But I was amazed that Harrison Ford was there, and that he actually sort of hung around a little bit and talked, which was pretty cool.
No, we didn't actually get into that panel.
No, we did not get into that panel. If you wanted to get into that panel, you had to stay the night before.
Yeah, the guy on my plane flight said that he was leaving the plane when they landed and going straight there and to get into line and sleep there overnight.
I saw that. I saw where people were doing that in like they were in line camping, and then they played this really loud music. It was like, toons, 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 and it was like, what in the world, And people were just laying in line in their sleeping bags. And I was like, no, that's
No.
so. I saw some pictures of you guys or videos where you were watching, were you kind of in some other area where they had like a screen set up where if you weren't in the room, you could still watch what was going on?
Yeah, that's how we watched the 40th panel. Basically, they had what is the Star Wars show, which is an online show that you can watch on YouTube. They had a stage set up in the main expo area, and they had a big screen, and they would show the panels for those that couldn't get inside the panels. So that's where we watched it from. We got to watch it on the big screen, which was still fun because you're surrounded by Star Wars fans, and everybody's into it. But after Harrison Ford was a big surprise for me, and I got excited. John Williams came out with a full orchestra, and they played the part of the soundtrack for
That's
Star
awesome.
Wars, and it was amazing. Just to, even on a screen, just to see him there conducting the orchestra. It was funny that backstage, I heard a story later that Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford were backstage, and they were sort of saying their goodbyes, and were getting ready to leave when the music was starting. And I think it was Warwick Davis or somebody leaned over and said, "Oh, why are you leaving? Don't you know that John Williams is here?" And they're like, "He's actually here?" And so they stopped, went and like peeked their heads out and just stayed to listen to him. And that's how much people wanted to listen to him. Even Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill was like, "We're staying for this. We're not missing out on this." So that was good. And they had a nice tribute to Carrie Fisher there during the 40th, which was very touching. So let's see, what else went on day one? We went to a couple of panels, I think.
Day one, it was a busy day. Yeah, and we walked the floor quite a bit. There was a lot to look at, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of things I would love to buy but had no money to buy.
Yeah, everything was super expensive.
Yeah, my favorite, they're always at San Diego Comic-Con, is Bluefin. They make just super nice like action figures and stuff. They're super posable, like all these movements on their body and everything. They're great. They actually make nice little figures that you can pose for like drawing, like little posable drawing figures to draw from, which is nice. Little mannequins, basically. You pose, but yeah, super
Anakin
nice.
mannequins.
Anakin mannequins. They do some Anakin mannequins.
Oh, he was there too. That's right. He
yeah.
Hayden Christensen was there, so that was really cool. But then we went to a panel. We went that day.
Ian.
Yeah, the Emperor. Yeah,
The Emperor. Emperor was there.
he was there. We went to a Disney merchandise panel, which was pretty funny because it was basically a commercial for Disney products that they sell in the parks. Pretty much their new stuff coming out. We sort of wandered into it. I think it'd be fun. Maybe they'd give away free stuff, which they didn't. But every time something new would come on the screen, the audience would be like, "Ooh, ah!" We're just like, "Really? Really?"
If they revealed like the Venus de Milo or something, it's like, "Oh my goodness!"
But look at this ugly T-shirt that no one will ever wear. Woo! I don't know. I love Disney. I love them to death, but their merchandise, I could do without.
It's lacking.
It's lacking.
Yeah.
I think people with that much creativity, they could think of some T-shirts that people would actually want to wear. That's just not ugly.
And then they had all the little droids that you could build. They're like building stations. So they introduced new pieces to build like a Christmas hat on them or something.
Nice. Well, they unveiled that they now have the protocol droids.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have an R2D2. But that'd be neat to have. I guess. I don't know. I mean, how many ways can you custom? I don't know. Any of those? How many ways?
There was a few.
Multiple ways.
That's the free thing we got. We didn't get a droid, but we got a pin.
Oh yes.
That it showed the new droids you could build on it. Ryan has it so he can show you, so you can't see it.
Here it is. Here's the pin.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
That's lovely looking. Yeah.
That was the big thing that people were handing out buttons and pins.
The one thing I did like is they showed some new clothes for her universe, and those are nice. Like those, they always do some nice designs. Those are a little bit more artistic.
Yeah.
Than a lot of the other stuff that they do. Like there was like a teacup dress and Haunted Mansion outfits and stuff like that, where it had like imagery that's very stylistic on them and stuff. I always like those.
Yeah, that was started by Ashley Eckstein, which is the voice of Ahsoka on Clone Wars, and she's on Rebels now. So I think that's why it looks so good, because it was started by somebody outside of Disney. And then Disney,
and she was there.
Yeah, she was there.
She was there. She presented them. She seemed super nice.
Yeah, she's nice. She's nice. So that was sort of day one for us. There was, a lot of walking around, just getting our fill of things. Looking at a lot of cool stuff, which leads us to day two. Which day two we got there, the line was better, we thought. It was inside. We didn't have to wait outside, so we're like, "Oh, we're going right in. This will be great." And we actually, got a couple wristbands to go to a couple panels later on. We didn't get a Last Jedi panel because basically you had to sleep overnight there again.
Yeah.
And then they queued us all up in these big, huge lines, and
rows.
Rows. And it was supposed to open at 10, and we were in line. I don't know, 10:30. After, still standing there waiting for them to let us in.
Yeah, about 10:30 or so after.
Yeah, and then something happened, something that was amazing. Chris and I joined. What?
Sorry. First, just to set it up a little bit. So we're in those rows, but then there was also like in front of us, there was like this big open space that actually led down to the entrance. So we were all like basically like cattle in like a bin waiting to be slaughtered, just kind of like section up in there, and then there's a big open space that led to freedom, and people decided they didn't want to wait around a little bit, and there was just little trickles of people that kept walking in front of us. And that was starting to get upsetting for a few people.
There was one guy standing there saying, "No, you can't go down this way," and they were just sort of like, "Okay, whatever," and they just walked past him. And that's the moment that Chris and I, unwillingly joined the resistance. The resistance actually happened at Star Wars Celebration. Basically, people just started breaking down all the barriers, and everyone started running towards the doors.
Yeah, there was more of us than them.
Yeah, pretty much. And we're like, okay, we either get trampled or we just keep going. So we just went with them. And they actually stopped us at one point and held us back for a little bit. But then it was just like, no, we're not staying anymore. And then there was the second push. And everybody just rushed in. And I'm still trying to figure out why they were holding everybody back. I think they just had it set up wrong.
Yeah.
Because it was just a mess. It was just a mess. And they had people going in their own ways. And so we got in. We joined the resistance. We conquered the evil empire of the celebration and made our way into the floor to watch the Last Jedi panel on the big screen, which was hard. There was more people in there, so it was sort of harder to hear than the day before.
Yeah,
but we still got to see it, and all the cast, most of the cast, not all the cast, but most of the cast was there from the movie. And then they said, we got something special for you, and everybody's like, oh, here comes the trailer, and the director says, we brought you the first look of the new movie poster, and you could just hear in the room everybody just go, oh.
Poster. Oh.
And Josh Gad was there leading the panel, And he was like, let's just take a moment and think about what just happened. That, you announced a movie poster and everybody just it was just gasps. Like, oh, great. But they showed the movie poster and it was beautiful. If you were in the room, you got one to take home with you. And it was funny. I looked on eBay right after, and they were already on eBay for like $300, which was
good grief,
crazy.
Yeah.
So you bought 2, right?
No, no. I got a picture of it offline and put it on as my phone background.
Yeah, really.
So that was my poster. But nice. But then after that, he goes, "Oh, by the way, I guess we should show the trailer." So they showed the trailer, and it was
good.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. Really liked it.
Yeah, and it was funny looking back. If you look at the trailer for The Force Awakens and the trailer for The Last Jedi, pretty much shot for shot they match up.
Saw that. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting. So,
well, did you? I heard that Kylo Ren's scar is moved a little bit, like it was.
Yeah.
Closer to his nose, and now it's like over his eye. Now,
basically, it was in the Force Awakens. It was down the middle of his nose,
right?
And the director, Ryan,
Street.
No. Wow, I just forgot his name. Anyways, the director for The Last Jedi decided to move it because he thought it looked sort of weird going down.
Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson. Decided that it looked a little weird going straight down his nose, so they put it over his eye. And
well, I'm not watching it now, so they can't keep consistency.
I know, right?
I'm sorry. That just pulled me right out. I can't do it.
There will be people that do that, but I'm like, it's a scar. I mean,
yeah. People are making a big deal of it, but it's like,
things just heal differently in a galaxy far, far away.
That's right. Maybe he gained weight in his face and just moved,
just stretched it out.
They had to remove that section of skin and just pull the other over, so it just
exactly.
That's how it lined up.
Yeah, I mean
he used the Force
technologies we don't have, so
he just used the Force. But
he refused skin from his butt to put on his face, so they.
But the trailer was great, and it gave a lot of sort of, foreshadowing and stuff that's probably going to happen. Of course, we saw Rey training on the island there, which was pretty cool to see. You hear Luke Skywalker talking over everything, so we got to hear his voice actually. And you also hear, if you listen carefully, you can hear Yoda in a scene. And you can hear, I think, Obi-Wan talking. And then it showed a picture of Kylo Ren's helmet that's all crushed and just sort of ruined. So I think the rumor is that he's getting a whole different mask for this movie. So we'll see what that shall look like. Basically, hey, how can we sell more masks? Oh, let's give him a new one. Merchandise.
Merchandising.
Yeah. Let's see what else, and then basically at the end of the trailer it says that the Jedi must end. Which last scene in the trailer, and somebody saw this on Twitter, and if you match that last scene of the trailer with some artwork that Dave Filoni did for Rebels, it's exactly the same, except you replaced Luke with Ahsoka, which was sort of cool. So I don't know if that was done on purpose or not, but they're in the same little outcropping where they're standing in the same thing. So I don't know.
Interesting.
And Rey, the actress that plays Rey, wow. Yep.
Daisy
Ridley.
Daisy Johnson from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
From Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Daisy Ridley was all in red at the panel.
Yes, that was a big talker. Wearing red.
Is she going to the dark side?
I don't know.
And then I just forgot the other dude's name. I'm just forgetting names
really
now.
Good name.
Are you
John Boyega?
Yes, he was in a white coat with a black armband that said "dead."
Oh, Yes, it was very and on his back it was all black.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. And then Mark Hamill came out in all black. So probably means
The beard.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
The beard. I think the beard is something to really read into.
But there's
No,
rumors
or-
that that Rey will combine sort of the dark and the light side to make
Oh,
the
She'll-
Force.
make the world a better place.
Sort of what
So-
they're calling
so
the
I-
Gray Jedi.
So during this, I came up with my own theory for the
Oh,
movie.
of course.
That of course, I love my theories. I think she is going to turn out to be. She's not going to be like a daughter of somebody necessarily. I think she'll be a clone somehow.
The clone of
that
Luke's
that
hand.
was made. Almost could be of Luke's hand. I don't know. It could be a combination of people. It could be something that she was made to be kind of like a weapon or something somehow, and then they whisked her away and put her on the planet. I don't know. Maybe it's too Logan. I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't know. Now I saw today. This is sort of away from Celebration, but the superhero cafe people, the how it should have ended people, came out with the Batman Superman discussing the Last Jedi trailer. And have you seen this before? They're pretty funny. It's basically Batman and Superman sitting in a cafe, and they're just sort of like talking about stuff. So they start talking about the trailer, and they're like, "Oh, is she going to be Rey Kenobi? I like the sound of that." And then the Batman says, "I think she's going to be something all of her own." And Superman was like, "Oh, maybe she'll be Ray Pumpkins." And they're like, "Yes, her name is Ray Pumpkins, and her dad is David S. Pumpkins." And so they figured it all out. She's related to David S. Pumpkins from Saturday Night Live.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
That
makes
makes a lot of
perfect
sense.
sense.
We don't even need to watch it now, so we're good.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I'll
funny though. You should watch it. So also that day after the Last Jedi trailer and panel, which was great, they had Carrie Fisher tribute with Mark Hamill, which is very touching. Very touching.
Yes,
Did you cry?
very nice.
Did I cry? No, I did not cry.
Good.
I actually
Because he's heartless.
No, yeah. I got a little, there was parts of it that was like, oh, getting to me. But,
Do you have to fan yourself with your hands like you just did?
no, yeah.
He had the vapors.
But I feel really bad. I feel really bad because, we hadn't had any sleep much. And it was a dark room with comfortable chairs, and I fell asleep during part of it. I'm a heartless human being. I woke up with, I woke up with people laughing and clapping. I'm like, oh, I must have missed something. But Mark Hamill is just a pleasure to listen to. He's got some good stories.
Yeah, super nice to listen to. He still had his voice at that point too, so that was nice.
Yeah, but that was a very touching tribute to her, and it sort of continued through the whole time that we were there, the whole convention.
Yeah, and Billy Lord came out. Her daughter. Came out the 40th panel. I can't remember if she came out at that one too, but yeah, she was dressed in something reminiscent of Leia's outfit from like the first movie, and did a nice speech about her mom, and it was very cool.
Yeah, very cool. So that after that, we wore matching jackets that day.
Oh.
We did wear matching jackets,
which was really weird. The lady that we stayed with basically bought us these Star Wars jackets at her Disney store for like $1.99, and it was sort of cold in there, so they were white with the like sort of like an Empire emblem on them, and I don't know, we wore them together. I wore a mask at one point, a Kylo Ren mask with it, and just sort of walked around with it on.
And you also wore your pajama bottoms.
That's true. I wore my
your stormtrooper pajamas.
So I was all decked out.
We got a picture of you because they had a big Jabba the Hutt on the floor that people would go up and like lay down on like the pillows in front of him, like Slave Leia does or whatever. And there was lots of people doing that. And you got up there in your pajama bottoms and your jacket and your Kylo Ren hat and just kind of flopped down on there like you're just like Al Bundy from Married with Children. And and this little child crawled up beside you and just kind of laid down on the pillows and got very comfy and it's a stark contrast between you just flopping and him just looking all so sweet.
He was curled up in Jabba's tail. It took us a while to get that picture because we had to wait around because there was a person dressed up as Slave Leia standing there.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
But it was not.
Flattering?
No.
Yeah, not flattering Leia.
It was like Grandma Leia. I mean, to put it nicely, I guess. It was.
She was there. She was into it.
She went
good for her.
Yeah.
She went all out for that.
But she was an older leader.
I don't know if everyone wanted their picture taken with her, and she would not leave Jabba's lap and just kept going, "Hey, come on!" And I think she scared one little child because he didn't want to go up there.
No. There were a few Slave Leias, mostly older women and big overweight men.
Yes. One particular guy with tattoos. He was a big guy.
Yeah. And that was the day I was fully in Kylo Ren costume, and I should have. I wanted to go up to him and go, "Mother, you've really let yourself go," but I didn't.
Nice.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. And we also went to the Lego panel that day. It was on Friday, which was kind of cool. I mean, a little bit. They kind of went over like how they did some box art. Brian's falling asleep even as I'm talking. It's just the guy that they got doing it. He's like one of the main guys, I guess, behind this Lego stuff. They're like this package design, and these guys aren't necessarily always the best people to give these little speeches. And he had a PowerPoint, basically. It was a PowerPoint presentation, and every PowerPoint said exactly what he was saying. It's like there was even one that says, "Who am I?" or whatever, like a little bit about me, and then he would talk about himself. And going through the box art, he just had, okay, here's a box that we would start with, and it was a blank box with like front written on the front, and then back written on the back. It's like, this would be the front, and this would be the back. As you can see, I put the words on here so you could know which was the front and which was the back. Because without them, you wouldn't know.
It was, especially after like the last Jedi panel, like that was pretty much a letdown. It was sort of boring. I mean, I feel sorry for the dude, but
yeah. We did get to see the new episode of the Freemaker Adventures, Lego Star Wars. That. So that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Cool. I like that.
And then we ended that night with a screen of Rogue One and A New Hope back to back, which is really fun to see on the big screen, just back to back. As soon as Rogue One ended, A New Hope started, and it was just like it continued, and it was amazing.
Yeah, so it's the first time they did that. I think they said they should have back to back.
So with the original movies 4, 5, 6, right? Were these still the enhanced versions, or was it?
Yes. Yeah, it was the enhanced ones. And looking at and watching them now, like as far as like how far CGI has come, when you watch them now, you're like, oh gosh, that just looks bad.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Especially when they do like close-ups and like the textures on the big animals, just like, oh wow, pixels.
So you could definitely tell that they were just sort of plopped in there now, but it was still cool to see it on the big screen.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Again. Yeah. Anytime like a character would, for the first time, like Luke would come on, there'd just be a huge cheer from the crowd, and that was really cool. Yeah, just like everybody. Into it. It's almost like a Rocky Horror Picture Show screening where everybody just kind of like got up and said lines and shouted and waved, and it was cool.
Didn't throw toast.
Didn't
throw toast. But that was day 2, which leads us into day 3, which we got there a little later that day. because I wanted to sleep a little. But we walked straight in, right?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I got up at 5. We're like, we're getting up in the morning. We're gonna get up. I got up at 5. In there, I get showered. I'm ready to go. And I look at my phone. There's a text like, oh, I think I'm going to sleep in a little bit. I'm really tired. My brain wants to go, but my body doesn't.
So we slept in a little bit, but we got there, got to walk straight in, and we got the wristbands for the panels that we wanted. And we didn't have to get there before the sun came up, so that was good.
Well, we got the one wristband for the movies.
Yeah. And we waited in line. That's right. We waited in line for Battlefront 2 and Disney Parks, and we got in. Without wristbands, so we lucked out. But Battlefront 2 we got in, and it was amazing. I'm a fan of the first game. I'm a fan of the old games, but the first game that came out, and this one looks like it's going to top it. They're going to have a single-player campaign that revolves around a Inferno squad. It's a squad of special stormtroopers. Yeah. And so that takes place right after, basically, Return of the Jedi. And looks amazing.
Yeah, it was super cool. I don't really play a lot of games or anything, but I like, of course, in animation and stuff, and so like it was some really good quality stuff, and I thought it looked awesome.
Yeah, and it's going to be considered canon, so it's canon. Is what they said, which I always thought was pretty cool. That this is going to be canon. This is going to be part of the Star Wars story now. But the other thing they're doing with the game, especially for multiplayer, it's going to be all movies, basically. So you're going to be able to play as all eras. You're going to be play as Darth Maul. You're going to be able to play as the Clone Troopers, all the way up until the Last Jedi. They're going to have stuff from the Last Jedi in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they already announced like a couple of costumes, like new costumes for Rey and Kylo. You can get on pre-order. Yeah, which was cool. And yeah, they showed some nice behind-the-scenes stuff too. I don't know if they put. I think it was after they went offline, right? Then they showed like a behind the scenes at one of the studios that did it. They'd never had like shown behind the scenes stuff there before, and it was cool. Just talking a little bit further about the game and everything, they showed some clips of the motion capture people, which one of them was I think Paul Blackthorne, the guy who plays the detective on Arrow, like the dad of Laurel.
Oh, okay.
Like the Black Canary's dad, basically, and he was all decked out in that, so he's going to be a character. That was cool.
It was interesting. One of the things they showed that, basically after the camera stopped rolling and stuff during that thing was this. It looked like sort of like a droid, maybe, but it had the face of Emperor Palpatine.
Yes, that's right.
And it was like, what is going on? Like, is he still alive? Is this some kind of found footage, or what have they put on this droid?
Yeah, it was kind of hard to tell because, like, I'm guessing some of the game may take place a little bit before the Death Star explodes with him on it. So I don't know. Maybe he could be. It's almost like instead of a hologram, it's a protocol droid that he can kind of like hologram his face onto, and it can walk around and move. Maybe. I don't know.
But it was interesting to hear the chatter as we were leaving. People were like, "Wait a second. What does this mean? Is Palpatine alive?" And so that was pretty interesting that they showed that. So we'll have to wait till November to see. That's when it comes out in November. The other cool thing they did is they basically said, everybody look under your seat. And there was two things in people's seats. And they were giving away free like PS4 Pros with the game when it comes out. So basically two people walked away with a brand new PS4 Pro.
Yeah, and there were like limited edition, like the actual Battlefront consoles too, like the controller I think was Battlefront 2, like art on it.
It was really cool. So that was a fun panel. The other panel that we did that day was the Disney Parks panel, which we waited in line for too and got in, and it was cool. But like Disney does, they didn't give away too much.
Not a whole lot. There's some little snippets here and there.
They did a Star Tours thing where they said there's going to be a new world coming to Star Tours from The Last Jedi that you can travel on called Crate, which that was cool.
Yeah, and Anthony Daniels was there. Yeah. It was cool.
And he talked a little bit about how he got back involved with it.
Yeah, he's going to be the pilot, right? He's going to be the pilot for the new ship.
Oh, he's already the pilot. He's the pilot now.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, there was something else. It was something
basically
like that.
the old Star Tours. It was a robot or a droid that was voiced by Paul Rubens, and then when they redid it, The Adventure Continues, then it became C-3PO, and so it's going to continue on as C-3PO, which is fun. I've got to ride it several times, and basically you go to a different place every time.
So great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool. And then, but they're going to have a new one coming out with a new world from The Last Jedi, and then they went into talking about Star Wars Land that will be hopefully debuting in 2019. So they showed some pictures, didn't say much about it. We thought that we were going to get some more information. They started talking about this new lightsaber technology that's supposed to be just like a real lightsaber, and they started to talk about it, but then it was sort of like, oh, we shouldn't have mentioned that. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, it's like the host of the panel mentioned it, and then he looked at them, and they're like, they kind of look around like, yeah, it's going to be really cool. So there's also other stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing I did like, though, I mean, they did say this was a new planet, basically, where the park area is. It's like a outpost, like a new outpost that no one's visited. But and I don't know how necessarily this will work for everyone, but I guess it'll work with the wristbands. But basically, you can build a reputation while in this park, where like if you've when you're flying the Millennium Falcon, which is cool, like you actually get to fly the Millennium Falcon with a bunch of people, which is awesome. But if you say kind of wreck the ship a little bit, then like if you go into the cantina after that, you're a pilot. You can kind of build a reputation with people like in the park. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be. Hopefully they do it. Hopefully really cool. It lasts, because I know a lot of times Disney will announce stuff, and they'll do it for the first few months, and then something will break, and they'll be like, "Oh well, we're not going to fix it." So hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll keep doing it. They did. There is a rumor going around that there was a survey that went out that they're going to possibly build a resort right next to Hollywood Studios. It's going to be a Star Wars themed resort. That basically it's going to be, for lack of a better way of describing it, a cruise ship on land. Basically, you book 2 nights. Yeah, and you eat there, you sleep there, you have a character that you take on, that you go through around the resort as. So you build your reputation there, and then you basically land, in quotes, land at the new spaceport, and you go out into the new Star Wars land. I don't know if it'll happen. It's just right now a survey that's been going around. But if it does, that would be amazing.
And no one wants to do it in the survey. Just everybody's like, nah, I don't want to do that.
But they're talking about it between 500 and 1,000.
Yeah, it's kind of like Westworld. Have y'all watched Westworld on HBO?
Yes. So everyone's going to die there, basically.
Well, it's like, because the whole idea of Westworld is that you go to the old West and get to live out your fantasies of being a Wild West guy, with guns and things. And so this is like, living out that fantasy of being in Star Wars, and it's kind of funny. But they spent, it was like $10,000 a day for that, for that. But it was, gosh, $1,000 on this. Yeah.
Wow.
I'd do it. I'm like, take my money. I'll get another job or a job or something.
A job. I'll get a job.
I'll sell a kidney or something. I want to go. But I hope there is some cool lightsaber technology. And the thing is, announcing stuff this far ahead of time, there's always a chance that we could build it up for more than it is, and when it gets here, we're just sort of like, okay. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. That's the thing I like about Universal. When they announce something, within a year, it's there. So it's not huge build up. Mm-hmm. So there's not this letdown. But announcing, like Avatar Land, it's not even opened yet, and I'm still sort of like, it could be cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So back to so that was the Disney parks. That was the day that I also cosplayed as Kylo Ren, which I never have done before. And it was a cool experience. Of course, there everybody's dressed up, so it's not that big of a deal. But just walking around in this full costume and having kids look at you. That's my dog in the background. He's giving his 2
excited.
cents. Yeah, he's excited. But having kids look at you and either like are happy to see you or like cower in fear of you, it's sort of this cool feeling. You get to walk around and people want pictures. The coolest part was they have the Star Wars show stage there, which looked like part of it looked like Jabba's palace. And I got to go up on stage and just hang out on stage dressed in costume with some other people. It was funny. They had a Princess Leia and a Han Solo up on stage with me. And so we got to mingle around a little bit. So we were on the show. You could watch it online. If you see a Kylo Ren, it may be me. But afterwards, when I came off the stage, Han Solo guy and Princess Leia was like, come here. And I was like, okay. Like, can we get a family photo? And I was just like, it's so funny. So I'm like, yeah, let's take a family photo. So I took a family photo with Han Solo and Princess Leia, and so that was really cool. And it was just cool to see because how many people support each other in costumes. That they're like, your costume is cool. It wasn't like, oh man, my costume is so much better than yours. It was like, hey, cool costume, and just very supportive. The community there as a whole. It wasn't like any bashing or looking down on you for not being, screen accurate or anything.
Yeah,
that's safe for later when we talk down about the older ladies wearing the
That's true.
Well, yeah. Everybody talks behind their back. But
that's right.
I mean, the thing about that was like that she was like forcing people to take a picture, and I'm like, no, don't force people. Just go about your business.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so there was a lot of cool costumes. Probably one of Chris's favorites was the Darkwing Duck.
Yes, the Jedi Darkwing Duck was awesome. It was like in purple. He had a purple lightsaber. The mask was great. It looked really nice. Because one Halloween, like our mom is a great costume maker, and Darkwing Duck was one of my favorite cartoons as a kid. And she actually made a Darkwing Duck outfit for me. I won a Halloween contest with it.
Nice.
But she took like 2 brims of hats and turned one upside down and like made a bill for the mask. It was really cool. Yeah, but yeah, that guy's costume was awesome.
Yeah, my favorite costume was probably the old Han Solo from Force Awakens, but he had taken a lightsaber and he had it basically stabbed through him, and it was lit up and everything.
Yeah, that was what was cool. Is it was lit up on both sides.
Yeah. And he was just walking around going like, kids, what are you going to do with them and stuff like that. It was just it was really funny. But Chris was joking with me because there was other people around us in costumes that were like for lack of a better word, scantily clad females. And so people were taking pictures, and I'm sitting there going, Han Solo, pose for me, taking his picture. And Chris is like, yeah, you're the geek here. You're the ones like, forget those people. I want to take a picture of Han Solo with the lightsaber through him.
Yep. Beautifully scantily clad women all around. And he's like, yeah, get out of the way. Okay, old man, come here.
It was a great costume, and the best group costume that I liked was the Matt, the technician from the Saturday Night Live sketch. Kylo Ren dressed up as Matt, the radar technician. There was a group of them all together, and they were basically quoting lines from the thing, walking around, and they were hilarious.
That was great.
Yeah. Yeah, they would see like Princess Leia or Han Solo walk by, and they would be like, "Hello, not mom. Hello, not dad." And it was just like, it was so funny. Of course, they had the running of the ice cream man, and I forget the name of his actual character, but there's a character in Empire Strikes Back in Cloud City that if you watch, it's this guy running in this orange jumpsuit carrying what looks to be an ice cream maker. And so the tradition at the Star Wars conventions have been a whole group. I mean, I don't know how many there were, 40 or 50 of these guys, all in orange jumpsuits with these ice cream makers in their hands, running around going, "Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream." It was hilarious, but that's sort of the running of the ice cream man is, it's hilarious.
That was funny. That was my first experience of them.
Yeah, Chris was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh,
It's really cool.
let me show you."
Rookie.
Yeah, rookie. But we ended the day. Chris went to watch Empire, Return of the Jedi, and Force Awakens back to back. I caught parts of it, but then I went to be a bouncer at a podcast called Skywalking Through Neverland, which is a great podcast. If you like Disney, like Star Wars, it's another great one to check out. But they had me there in my full Kylo Ren costume, basically at the door, making sure people were going where they were supposed to go, which is fun. And I got to just sort of hang out at their podcast, which is shout out to them. But it was funny. I was sitting there bouncing. They call me a bouncer, but I just stood there while people walked by. And there was this guy dressed up as Luke Skywalker, and he walked past me and just started yelling at me. And I'm like, I'm in this mask and I can't hear anything. And I guess he was taunting me, saying that I was lazy and a lazy nephew and I couldn't do anything and stuff. And I was just sitting there going, "Hey, yeah, hello." But it was cool to see another podcast at work. And I joined Chris after that to watch the end of the movies. But again, it was cool to see the movies on the big screen.
Yeah, you came in at the end of Return of the Jedi, and then Force Awakens. You got to see the whole thing. But during Empire was great, and I recorded it because I knew it was going to be big. Like it was the scene coming up with Luke fighting Vader, and they're on the platform, and Vader cuts his hand off. Oh, spoilers! And big spoiler coming up here. And it got to that point. It was like, "I am your father," and the whole crowd erupted.
He's his father?
Insane.
What?
Spoiler number 2.
Like cousin of the landlord of the second removed. Yeah, it was something like that. But it was awesome. Like I recorded it because it was just great because everybody it was huge, just uproar when that happened. It was fun.
But that ended Saturday, which led us to Sunday, the last day. And it went by so fast. Yeah, the last day was we got to go to Hamill himself, which basically was Mark Hamill on stage, just telling stories, and he's just again a pleasure to listen to. He was funny, and he told all kinds of stories. But he was
that time he lost his voice. Yeah, because he didn't get to do the Joker voice. I always wanted to see him do the Joker voice in person. I've seen him online doing it and stuff, but he kind of did the laugh. It was like, but it wasn't good. He almost just kind of sounded like the Joker at that point since he lost his voice a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
Welcome.
But that was fun. And then we walked the floor some more, and then went to the closing ceremonies, which
and at the Mark Hamill panel though, like the thing that sold the show were his dogs.
Yes, his dogs ran on stage. I don't think they were supposed to, but they just ran on stage and started playing around.
Started jumping around. Everybody. He was trying to tell the story, and he kept starting over, and the dogs kept like running all over the furniture and everything. And eventually, he's just like, you know what? Let's just watch the dogs. And he just kind of sat back, and just like, this is more entertaining.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. And then at the closing ceremony, it was just the hosts. There was no actors or actresses or anything.
Well, Warwick Davis,
he was one of the hosts, yeah. So he was basically the host for the whole thing. But they sort of just closed it off, showing video of clips from the week, and then they said, "We'll see you again in 2019." But don't know.
No clue where.
Don't know where. So that ended our experience. We didn't really buy anything that much. We got a couple of things, but everything was super expensive. But we had a blast. And I'm ready to go again. We ended our trip at ready to sleep. We ended our trip at Disney Springs. Got to go over there and eat and just sort of hang out. And then we got to go to Escapeology, which is an escape room, that night for free. Got the hook up there,
that was awesome.
Which we'll have a little short podcast about that, just sort of our experience there. We had a great time. Katrin, any other questions for us?
Yeah. I don't think so. What do you guys think is which is nerdier, a Star Trek convention or a Star Wars convention?
They have conventions for Star Trek? People still like that?
They probably do. I bet they still do. Yeah.
There were a few people dressed up as Star Trek characters there, and let's just say they did not make it out alive.
Yeah.
No.
and then there was the people dressed up as Toy Story characters walking around too.
Oh, they were
that
creepy.
was weird.
It wasn't like a cross-play where they were Star Wars / Toy Story. It was just straight on Toy Story, and they looked like they had escaped from some kind of asylum or something. Like, they were creepy looking. Like, I thought it was like Halloween Horror Nights or something. And they were walking around, and I'm just like, oh gosh, they're going to steal little children or something. It was just, it was weird. It's like they just wandered in. Yeah. Very out of place and very odd.
I mean, good on them for wanting to dress up, but yeah, that was just an odd choice.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly missed you guys, and we didn't get to record last week, so I actually went to sleep and got rest. So that was
well, that sounds boring.
Good for me.
Yeah.
We're back at it. A lot of other stuff has happened this week, but we'll have to do that on our next episode.
Yeah, like a Thor trailer. Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, and Flash is next week. It's back.
All kinds of stuff going on.
More things.
Summer is here, so it's going to just start ramping up more and more. But yeah, we had a great time. Hopefully, the next time it rolls around, maybe all three of us can go.
Yeah.
And we'll make Katrin dress up.
No.
Aww.
Yes. Slave Leia in the making.
Yeah. Hey. Probably not.
Next time it rolls around, maybe we'll bring our kids. That would be fun.
Ugh. Crowds like that. No. Oh.
I have a kid?
It's bad enough taking a kid to Disney World, and take them to something like that. God.
They get all the free stuff, though. All the kids over there, they're like, here, take this for free. Take this for free.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Like, all the kids got everything. Stupid kids.
Oh, man. Anyways, well, until next time, this is iamGEEK. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Have a good night.